Hey guys, today's video is going to be what is currently on my Sephora loves list. I'm really not sure what the best way to do this video is, so I literally just have my camera facing my computer screen and I'm going to scroll through and let you know what are some of the items that I hope to pick up in the next few months. My list is so long and I of course will not be purchasing a lot of these things, but these are the items that are on my radar right now. The first thing here is the Smashbox Always On Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is in the shade True Grit. Casey Holmes talked about this shade in particular in her Sephora VIB recommendations video, and it is a true brown shade, which I think would be beautiful in the winter time. I'm not sure how the colors are going to be looking for you guys versus how they look for me. Next I have the Algenist Complete Eye Renewal Balm. I talked about this in my recommendations video. This is the absolute best eye cream I have ever tried. It completely got rid of the fine lines underneath my eyes. My under eyes looked so nice and hydrated and plump. It was amazing. But it is an $80 eye cream for 15 mils. 15 mils is pretty standard for an eye cream. It's the $80 that I am struggling with. That is a lot of money. Not currently in my budget, but definitely if I get a gift card or something and need an eye cream coming up, this is the one that I will be purchasing. Over here is the Tarte Tarteist Pro Amazonian Clay Palette. I've had this on and off my loves list. Right now it's on. It's just a really pretty palette. I just don't know if it is something I will ever purchase right now. I keep looking at it and wanting it, but then I get over it again really quickly. So I'm just still not really sure on that one. Next is the Tarte Tarteist Pro Glow Highlight and Contour Palette. This has really intrigued me since it came out. My concern is that these highlight shades are going to be too dark on my skin tone, that maybe I could only use these two highlight shades and then the cream contour and the regular contour would probably work fine for my skin tone. But I don't want to buy this whole palette for $59 and not be able to use these two shades here, which are much deeper. However, my issue with it is what also makes this a good palette for multiple skin tones. So I do understand that. I just don't know if I'm willing to pay that much money for something I'm only going to be able to use, you know, 2/3 of the palette, if that makes sense. Next, I do have the Satan Sinner eyeshadow palette on here. I do think it's beautiful. A big issue I have with it is the size. I don't know how I would ever store a palette this big. And also, I really just don't like the layout of the shades. It's not that I can't find inspiration for all of the colors that are in it. Like, it definitely is a beautiful palette and I can see how they can be wearable, and there's also some fun bright colors like down here that would be really fun to play with. I'm not really sure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about the Saint and Sinner palette from Kat Von D. I'm really curious to know what your take is on it. Next is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Face Contour Palette. This is another product that's been on my loves list for years. I'm not really in the market for a new contour palette right now. I'm really happy with the ones that I have. But if ever a time came where I felt like expanding that, this is probably the first contour palette that I would be reaching for. Next is this Nude Sticks Intense Matte Lip and Cheek mini set. Beauty with Emily Fox hauled this not that long ago and she swatched all the colors and they look beautiful. Probably not something I would use on my cheeks because I really don't like cream products for blush. But these shades as lipsticks look amazing. They are really wide, well there's only 3 of them, but they're a really good mix of different nude shades, and it's all 3 shades that I would get a lot of use out of, and it also comes with a sharpener and this cute little case, of course. So that is something I'm interested in for the holidays. Next I have the Too Faced Peach Blur Translucent Smoothing and Finishing Powder. I've heard that this is really great and that it actually does blur any imperfections on your skin. The peach tone to this made me a little wary, as I am quite fair. I'm not sure how that would work on my skin tone, but it's definitely something I'd be willing to give a try. Next up I have the Tartelette Toasted palette. This is a new release and is at the top of my list for new eyeshadow palettes to get right now. This, and it's down a little further, the Too Faced Just Peachy Matte palette, are the 2 newer releases that I really have my eye on. The Tarte Toasted is something I'm a little more likely to pick up just because it does have the combination of matte and shimmers, and I love the warm tones. I did not pick up the Urban Decay Naked Heat or anything like that, so I don't have a palette that is super warm like this one. So I think it would be a good addition to my collection. Next to that is the Bite Beauty Movember Limited Edition liquefied lipstick. I wanted to try this formula, and I feel like getting the limited edition Movember shade, it goes towards a good cause, as well as a shade that I would wear and I would get to test out the formula. So that is on my list. Violet Voss just came to Sephora, and I was going through the palettes, and a lot of them look really beautiful, but the one that calls to me the most is the Holy Grail palette. It's currently out of stock, so I won't be picking it up, obviously, but it just has similar tones to the Tartelette Toasted, and I feel like the Modern Renaissance kind of mixed. Like at the top there's a lot of warm orangey shades, and then down at the bottom has your more pinks and berry tones down here. Again, I'm not really sure how the color is translating on my camera. It does seem like quite a big palette just looking at it online. I'm not sure what the size of it is like actually in store. I haven't seen it in any of my Sephoras around me. Next to that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism eyeshadow palette. I haven't really looked at this too closely. Just when it landed on the just arrived list, I quickly added it to my loves list. The shades do look really pretty, but I like those shades a little less than the Subculture, I think. I'm still on the fence with the Subculture because of the mixed reviews. I know like the bad reviews blew up when it first came out, and then there's a whole bunch of good reviews, but the people that put up the bad reviews still hold their ground on that it was a bad palette. It's like a love it or hate it situation, and I'm really worried that the Prism palette is going to be the same thing. And to be honest, I am not the most skilled makeup wearer, so I don't think that the Subculture formula would be the best for me. And if the Prism eyeshadow palette is a similar situation, then I don't think it's something that was going to work out for me. I have the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty Matte palette on here. IT Cosmetics just came to Sephora Canada a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so now. I have not tried any IT Cosmetics products in the past, but I do think this palette is really beautiful. I like that it's all matte, but there is that transforming pearl shade in it to make them a little more satin if I want. It's really neutral. I feel like this is going to be a great everyday eyeshadow palette if it's something that I were to pick up. Here are the shades here. Really soft, beautiful, neutral shadows. This reminds me of more of like a spring type palette though, so I do limit my purchases. Even during the VIB sale, I tend to only get one eyeshadow palette, and I did just place my order. I don't think you guys can see on the screen right now, but my cart is empty, so my order has been placed for the VIB sale. We will see. There were a few things that I really wanted that were out of stock, so I might place a second order, but I will do a haul for you, so I'm not really going to mention what I picked up here. This is just what's currently on my loves list. Next to that is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I have wanted this for years, but I don't think it would work out the best for me in the winter months. During the fall VIB sale, I try to get products that are going to work really well during the fall and winter for me, and then in the spring VIB sale, I buy things that would work well in those coming months. I know I've mentioned in the last month or so a million times that my skin is super volatile. It is disgustingly greasy in the summertime, in the warmer months. So I think this foundation would be better for me then, and then my skin gets super dry during the winter. And I think this would cling to my dry patches a little too much. So this is something I'm going to skip on right now, but it's definitely something I would consider in the spring VIB sale. Beside that is a foundation that I am super interested in for year-round, really. The Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Hydrating Foundation. I remember a year or two ago, Casey Holmes raved about this, and she had super oily skin year-round. But because it's hydrating, I thought it might be something that would be good for me in the winter months as well. Let me know your thoughts on this foundation below if you have tried it. Getting into a little bit of skincare now. This is the Origins Original Skin Retexturizing Mask with Rose Clay. Texture was a really big issue that I had a few months ago, but it has since improved greatly since incorporating the Sunday Riley Good Genes into my skincare routine. So it's not really something that I need right this second, but I have heard good things about that. My Anastasia Brow Wiz is always on here. My shade is currently out of stock, so unfortunately I can't pick up a backup right now. I might check in store during the VIB sale just so I always have it on hand, but that just stays on my loves list because I always repurchase that. This is the Glam Glow Thirsty Mud Hydrating Treatment. I thought that would be a great mask to try out this winter. Then beside that, I have the Super Mud Clearing Treatment. I have tried this mask in the past, but I have a lot of similar like pore clearing clay, mud, charcoal, like that type of mask in my skincare collection right now that I really need to go through before I purchase the full size of the Glam Glow Super Mud. But it is super intense and works so well if you have really clogged pores and need a good deep cleaning. That is definitely a mask that I would recommend. Beside that is the Tatcha Violet Sea Radiance Mask. Again, another product that I thought would be fun to try in the winter. This is a newer mask. I thought it was a lot more expensive than Glam Glow, but it is the same price. I guess I never really noticed that prior to just now. But again, something I thought would be good for my skin during this time of year. We're getting into a lot of skincare and some holiday sets now. First up, I have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3. They come out with these every year. I've never picked one up, but the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders are near the top of products I want to try, and this has a strobing powder, their regular ambient lighting powders, a bronzer, blushes. They pretty much have all of the products in this palette to try. The pans are very small and it is $95, so I'm hesitant to pick it up, but it does have a lot of products that I've wanted to try for a long time, so we'll see. Again, it's currently out of stock. A lot of the items I wanted are out of stock, which is unfortunate. That's what happened with this Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. This was the #1 foundation I wanted to try. I know it's an older foundation, so it seems kind of odd that it's the one I wanted to pick up most. But based on the reviews that I've watched, the YouTubers I watch online that love it or have loved it in the past, it seems like a foundation that would work really well for me this winter. But of course, the only shade that is sold out is my shade, and I don't want to just get a different shade just for the sake of trying it. I'd rather just get my right shade right off the bat. but unfortunately it is out of stock. Same with the Stila Written in the Stars Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow Set. This is only $33 for 3 minis of their liquid eyeshadows. I wanted to try these so bad, and I would never use up a full size one, so I thought this set would be perfect for me. I do have an email reminder on this one because it is something I for sure want to pick up this year. I really hope they bring it back. I know it's a limited edition holiday set, but we're still only at the beginning of November, so I feel like it is something that will get restocked, and when it does, it is going to be mine. I have a few Karuna face masks on my list. Lisa Stevens talks about them all the time and says that they are really good quality, so I picked 3 I think are on here. 3 different ones that I want to try. I first have the brightening face mask. I thought that might be good to maybe help out with some of my acne scarring or just make my skin look quite healthy. I'm not sure. Then there is the clarifying face mask. My skin is actually doing really well lately, so this isn't something I need right now, but it is something that I would like to try. And then the hydrating face mask. Having hydrating face masks are just good to have on hand. Then I have the Dr. Jart Pore Minimalist Black Charcoal Sheet Masks. I'm trying to get more into sheet masks, but like I said earlier, I do have a lot of charcoal and clay type masks, not sheet ones, but like regular wash off face masks in my collection right now that I really need to get through. So it's not something I need right now, and it's out of stock anyways. Next up is the Ulla Henriksen Truth Serum. This serum I have tried in the past and just thought it was alright, but I do want to try it again. It's supposedly a really great vitamin C serum that is good at targeting brightness. Now that my acne has cleared up immensely, I want to start tackling the scarring and hyperpigmentation that it has left behind. So I think vitamin C is a good place to start. I am nursing. I have a baby at home, so I can't really go in with heavy retinols and things of that nature that do tend to help with hyperpigmentation and that sort of thing. So I thought a vitamin C serum, like I said, would be a good place to start. I have this Clinique Pep Start Double Bubble Purifying Mask. I just thought this would be fun to try someday. The Too Faced Peach Kiss Moisture Matte Lipstick. So I have it on here just to keep me reminded of it. The packaging is beautiful, and I love that the lipstick itself has peaches like engraved or embossed. I don't know what the correct terminology would be on the lipstick bullet. I think it's really cute, but I'm not really sure if it's something I would ever buy. Next is the Dermalogica Breakout Clearing Overnight Treatment. Again, something that I would want to pick up if my skin starts breaking out again, but right now I'm doing really well. The Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I think this would be another foundation that I'm really interested in. I love a matte finish, and if I want to alter it, I could always use like a radiance primer or MAC Fix Plus, things like that to alter the finish of the foundation. But because it's matte, I thought it would be good for me in the summer, but I also see YouTubers with dry skin really enjoying it, so I think it would be something that would work for me year round. The First Aid Beauty Skin Rescue Deep Cleanser with Red Clay. I've tried multiple minis of this and it does work really well. Cleanser isn't really something I tend to splurge on, but I do know that one is really well and does really clean my pores out. So it is something I would consider picking up again in the future. I have a few Sephora favorites sets in here. I love the Sephora favorites. The Give Me Some Lip and Liner set has a lot of bold shades that I'm not really sure if I would get a lot of use out of, so I don't know if that's one I'll pick up. And the Glow For It kit has a lot of highlighters. I think I have some of those already. I'd have to read through what's included. If it has more than one product I already own, I won't bother picking it up because then it kind of loses its value for me. But if you're starting out building your makeup collection, the Sephora favorites kits are definitely the way I would go. I have never used up an entire bullet lipstick or pan of highlight, so sets like that let me expand my collection, try new things without breaking the bank, because they really are great value for money. The Tarte limited edition blush bazaar thing here, I want this so bad. It is on my Christmas wish list. I don't know if I'll buy it myself in the VIB sale, but all these shades look beautiful. These ones are deeper and mauvier, and I think would be perfect in the winter time on my skin tone. And then these ones look a little more natural and neutral, and I think those would be great in the summer months. I just love everything about this palette, and I've heard that the formula is the same as the regular Amazonian clay blushes, which I would 100% recommend. I love those. I'm not in need of another magnetic palette right now, but if I do have a need for it, I will be picking up the Tarte ones. There was some drama that went on with the owner from Z Palette, so for right now, I don't really have an opinion on that drama, but I think just to be on the safe side, I'll be picking up the Tarte palette. The one thing I wish is that you could see through the lid, which is why Z Palette has the advantage, I think. But for right now, this is the magnetic palette I'm going to be buying next. Next is the Fenty Beauty Primer. I've seen a lot of bad reviews on the foundation, which was on my list until recently. I just don't think it would work out well for my skin type, but the primer still intrigues me, so it might be something that I pick up in the future. The Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation is one that I have tried in the past and did not like, but it keeps popping up in my feed in one way or the other, so I really think that I could make it work now. I don't know, I want to try it again, so that's why it's on here. And then the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation, I need to watch more reviews on this. I saw it quite a bit on Instagram. They had a lot of sponsored Instagram posts by a lot of people that I enjoy watching their content. I don't know, if they liked it, then I feel like I would like it, but I'm not really sure if they were being completely honest because it was a sponsored post, if you know what I mean. So I need to watch more reviews on that before I purchase. The Dr. Jart Waterfuse Ultimate Hydrogel I thought would be a fantastic moisturizer for me. I really like gel moisturizers even when my skin is getting to be a little more dry because they soak into my skin so quickly. The Sephora favorites give me some nude lip. I got the previous version of this. They come out with new ones all the time. This is the newest set. Nude lipsticks are just what I reach for all the time, so I think I would get this one over the other Sephora favorites lip set. Even though it's much smaller, it has shades that I know I would wear. This is the Too Faced Peach Primer. Again, something that has been on my radar. Not really sure if it's something I will be picking up. I really liked a lot that Too Faced came out with in the Sweet Peach collection that they did. A lot of it is actually in my loves list, which you'll be seeing more and more of as we go. This is the mattifying setting powder, currently out of stock, so I can't get it. But I am in the market for another loose powder, and I'm kind of between this Too Faced one or going with the classic Laura Mercier, which I have yet to try. The setting mist is also on my list. I'm not sure about this. I've seen people get like white dots all over their face while using this, but I'm not sure if that was that they didn't shake well enough. It's hard to tell, but it's definitely something I kind of want to try. The Bumble and Bumble dry shampoo is something I want to try. I'm still trying to do hair training. I'm still not even at the point where I'm completely comfortable going 48 hours without washing my hair. It's a greasy, gross mess, and it's been like 3 or 4 years now. I don't know if I'll ever be able to only wash my hair twice a week or once a week like some people do. But I keep trying new dry shampoos to try and get to that point. The Too Faced Just Peachy Velvet Matte Eyeshadow Palette is absolutely stunning. Definitely near the top of my list of things I want. But like I mentioned earlier, the Tarte Toasted palette is above it by a little bit just because it does have the combination of matte and shimmer shades. Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Wear Foundation, another newer foundation that I haven't watched a lot of reviews on, but definitely piqued my interest. Urban Decay De-Slick Oil Control Makeup Setting Spray, something I might purchase in the spring VIB sale, but not something I'm going to buy now. Natasha Denona has a permanent spot on my loves list. I don't know if I could ever spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette. Like these ones here, this is the blue brown one that looks absolutely beautiful. It's 305 Canadian dollars, which I think is so ridiculous. And even these smaller ones, $162. I could only purchase these if it was completely with gift cards. And even then, I don't know, because then I could only get one eyeshadow palette as opposed to like, what, 5 other things from Sephora. So they might just stay there forever. I might pick one up eventually. Every time I read it now, thanks to Liv Loves Her Makeup, I read it as Natasha Denono. So I don't know. Same with Jo Malone fragrances. I kind of skipped over these Natasha Denona products. Same thing. They're so expensive. $70 for a primer. This is an anti-shine one, which would be better for me in the winter months. And Foundation X, I've heard really oily skin loves it and dry skin loves it. So it might be something I try. It's only $58, which is pretty reasonable for Natasha Denona, I think. But I'm still, not really sure. I added Jo Malone on here because they are new to Sephora, and I've always heard a lot of the UK YouTubers I watch talk about Jo Malone. Their fragrances are very expensive. I think I might pick one up for my wedding day, but other than that, I don't know if it's anything. I wouldn't get it on a whim, that's for sure. The Volition Beauty Oil Controlling Mattifying Mist, again, that's a product I would get in the summertime. Dry Bar Dry Shampoo is another one that I would like to try. Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Conditioner, I also have the shampoo on page 2. I've heard those are really great shampoos and conditioners, but I'm not really a high-end hair product kind of girl, so they've been on here for a really long time. A lot of what we're getting into now has been on my loves list for a really long time. I've just never bit the bullet, and those are definitely ones that I'm not sure if I'll ever purchase. Cover FX Mattifying Primer, again, summertime product. It also has acne treatment in it, and my acne's doing really well right now. Laura Mercier Transluce Setting Powder. This is a cult classic that I have yet to try. Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Kit. Casey Holmes uses this a lot on Instagram because she is an ambassador for Smashbox. Again, I don't need a contour kit right now. This is not at the top of my list because there is only 3 shades, but it might be something I'm willing to try, especially it's been on sale for a long time, so I feel like they're just trying to get rid of it at this point. Too Faced Born This Way Setting Powder. I've seen mixed reviews on this as well. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the money as much as Laura Mercier. Beauty Blender, the swirl one, I think it's cute. I'm kind of over Beauty Blender though. I have cheaper ones that I like a lot more. Verb Waves and Texture Kit. I thought this would be a good value for money and give me the chance to try some more high-end products. And I would hope that it would bring more of the texture out in my hair, so this might be something I pick up during the holidays. I keep Subculture on here just because I want it, if that makes any sense. The colors are absolutely beautiful. Nicole Renee Cutler really makes me want it. She has a really grungy makeup style that I think is absolutely beautiful, but I don't know if it's really me. And I've heard that, well, everyone has heard that the Subculture can be hard to work with. So I don't know if my makeup skill level will allow this palette to work out well for me. So it's been on here since the day it launched, and I'm still unsure on it. The Kevin Aquan, the Celestial Bronzing Veil. Kathleen Lights talked about this in like one video, I think. I think it just looked beautiful on the skin on other people. I'm not sure if I'd pay $58 for one bronzer though. I have a lot of the Drunk Elephant products here. Again, they're just so dang pricey that I don't know if I could justify them right now. I feel like the TLC one might be a good replacement for my Sunday Riley Good Jeans because it is cheaper than that, and I believe they do similar things. The eye cream, I don't know if I would ever buy because the Algenist one I have tried in the past, and although it's $80 and the Drunk Elephant one is $72, I feel like if I'm going to be getting that pricey with my eye cream, I'll just go with the Algenist because I know it works. And then the Drunk Elephant C Firma Day Serum, I think I'd go with the Ulla Henriksen Truth Serum over this because it is less expensive and I think they will do the same thing, but they are on my list of things to try. Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, I've wanted to try for a very long time. I just don't know if I'm a stick foundation kind of girl, you know what I mean? Tarte Tarlet in Bloom, great neutral palette, but I have a lot of palettes that look similar to that, so I don't really know if it's something I would buy. Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping Palette looks like a fabulous everyday basic palette, but I also have a lot of everyday basic palettes, so do I really need another one? ABH Blush Trio, that one is in Peachy Love, I believe. It's just stunning. Tarte Amazonian Clay Blushes. I only added one shade, that's Captivating there in the picture, but I could honestly buy 20 of them and only use those blushes ever again and probably be completely happy with my blush game for the rest of my life. I love them so, so much. The Boscia Luminizing Black Charcoal Mask. I've tried this before and loved it. It is a better version of the Biore pore strips, but it's for your entire face. So that is why I want it. I get blackheads a lot over my nose, but also on my cheeks and my chin. So although the Biore pore strips work, I need more surface area. So the Boscia one works really well for me. It has in the past anyway. I haven't tried it for a very long time, so I would like to try it again. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Lisa Stevens talked about it once and said it was really good for when your skin is acting up. If you have really clogged pores, this is a really good thing to have. Milk Makeup Eye Pigment, I've heard are amazing. Here's a lot of Milk Makeup products. I don't really know how I feel about these three, like their stick form, which I know is what they are known for. It just seems super unsanitary, and I feel like it would dry out so quickly that you wouldn't even get through it before the product went bad because the packaging just looks like it sucks. So that's kind of my stance on that right now. Milk Makeup Blurring Foundation, I think is something that I would really enjoy, especially over my pores and stuff, if it actually blurs like it says it does. Oh, we're almost at the end. Great, because I can hardly talk now. Urban Decay Rehab Makeup Prep Hydrating Gel. I thought this would be good in the winter to put on underneath my foundation. Urban Decay The Velvetizer. I think I would just use this as a setting powder. I don't know if I would ever mix it into a foundation to make it more matte. It's just not something that, I don't know, I ever really considered. Sunday Riley, the Tidal Water Cream. I really like this, but I don't really think it's all that hydrating, and now this has a warning that it cannot be shipped to Canada, which is BS because I've gotten it in the past, but okay. So I guess that can be taken off my loves list. Origins Super Spot Remover. Again, my skin is doing really well, and for the same reason I won't be picking up the Sunday Riley UFO Ultra Clarifying Face Oil, which I have heard is amazing if you do struggle with acne. But this video is super long and I'm so sorry, but this was everything that's currently on my loves list. I love and unlove things so frequently, but I haven't done like a revamp on this in quite a while. I just added a bunch of things when I heard the VIB sale is coming up. So I do need to go through and adjust my list. So if you liked seeing what was in my Sephora loves list, give me a thumbs up so that I know. Leave me a comment down below on what is currently on your loves list that you want to pick up soon. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!